Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Bible Study Minute. Today we're taking a look at Nehemiah chapter 13. And this chapter ends the book of Nehemiah. And what we see in this chapter is that things don't end well for Israel. What we see is after everything has been done with rebuilding the city walls and getting everything established the way that it should be, and the people hearing the word of the Lord read and deciding to make the covenant to honor the Lord and walk in his ways, Nehemiah returns to the king and returns to his job as cupbearer. And then after some time, he returns back to Jerusalem and he sees what's going on. And it's not a pretty picture. What he sees happening is the priesthood not doing their job. We see the Sabbath not being kept. We see marriage laws not being kept, and just so many other things. In other words, Israel has returned to their sin and they're not walking in obedience to the covenant promises that they made to walk in the ways of God. So Nehemiah does his best during this time to put things back in order so that Israel does not return to their sins. So he cleans up the priesthood. He puts people in place to make sure that the gates are closed on the Sabbath so that people aren't coming in to do business. And he does whatever he can to put things back in place. But what we see happening here is really the main takeaway. And that's you cannot legislate righteousness, because evil hearts that are bent towards sin are always going to find opportunity to sin and turn away from God. We can't put laws in place that are going to make people do the right thing. Yes, it's good to have those laws and they are good to have, but they aren't going to turn people toward God. But we see Nehemiah doing everything that he could. He was a faithful guy and doing everything that he could to turn people back to the Lord. And that's the same thing that we need to do. But we need to do it in a different way, knowing that we can point people to God, to the one who is able to change hearts so that they can walk in righteousness by giving them the gospel and pointing them to Jesus Christ. So that's what I want to leave you with today as you read this final chapter of Nehemiah. Look at Israel's bent towards sin and their return to the ways that sent them into exile to begin with, and Nehemiah's plea to them to walk in righteousness, and how we can take that same plea today with others, pushing and pleading with them to return to God and to follow after him, knowing that he is the one that can change their hearts. So until next time, grace and peace.